I want to say welcome to our program today, Introduction to Geocaching. I'm Becky. I'm a librarian with Hillsborough County Public Library. I'm here this evening with our presenter for the program, Layne.
Hi. Hello. Do I start now? Oh,
Well,
Q&A.
just so people know, you guys can ask questions at any time to submit the questions in the questions box. I'll go over the questions at the end. I'll ask them to Layne and she'll answer all those questions for you. Start submitting them whenever you think of them. That way at the end, we're ready for them. I'm going to go and turn things over to Layne now to give you her talk about geocaching.
First of all, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is my first class I've done, so if I'm nervous, I'm nervous. So I'm sorry. But anyway, basically, my name is Elaine Erickson, and I've been geocaching since 2007. And I have basically over 2,000 finds in 27 states. So I've been all over caching, so I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm just nervous. But basically, what I'm going to do is tell you how you can get started, the basic equipment you need, which is real basic, and a little bit about geocaching, and then I'll answer your questions. So geocaching started back in 2000 when when the military opened up the GPS satellites to people to use, and then somebody went out and put the first cache up in Oregon, and somebody else found it, and basically that's how it got started. And a little bit of information, facts I wrote down. There are more than 3 million active geocaches all over the world. There's probably one close to your house where you live, probably within a mile or two of your house. They are hidden in 191 different countries in all the 7 continents, even up in Antarctica. So they're all over the place. You can do geocaching whenever. You can go on a road trip and stop at a rest area and get a few caches, stretch your legs, and it's a fun family activity to do. Kids, anybody can get involved in doing it. That's what I like about it. Make it as easy or as hard as you like. So basically, how you get started is you go on geocaching.com on your computer or on your phone, create a free account. Like my trail name is GeoGirl007, so nobody else can use it. So when I find a cache, I sign it as GeoGirl and the date. So when you create an account on geocaching.com, you call yourself whatever you want to call yourself, your trail name, create a password, and then you can look at the map and see where the geocaches are and go out and start finding them. And then to find them, all you need is this, which is, if I can do it right, it's a pen and one of these, which is your phone. So once you create an account, you download the app on your phone. There's a couple of apps you can use. There's geocaching.com and CGEO is another one people use. And then you look at the map and go out and find the caches. You can either use orbit caches, which is basically using your phone, or if you want to get a little more sophisticated, you can get some of these, which is let me see, I put this thing. This is my handheld. Put it in the right spot. Handheld GPS, and here's another one. There's different models, and that's if you want to go out in the woods someplace. If you want to go like Ocala National Forest or out in the woods, that's what you would use. But just for going out in the neighborhood and going to a park and finding caches, this is all you need. And caches are labeled. If you look at on the cache page, the difficulty is from 1 to 4. 1 is the easiest and 4 is the hardest. 1, which I recommend you guys do, is anybody can find. 4 is hard. Going hiking in the woods or climbing a tree, that kind of stuff. So what I recommend you guys doing is when you're first starting out, is to stick to 1s. Easy. Walmart's in a Walmart in a park, that kind of thing. And also what you can do is go to events. We have events here in Pinellas, Hillsborough, and Pasco County, which I think I send Becky the list of what's coming up. I have my group, which is Suncoast Geocachers. If you're on Facebook, you can go on and find that. And if we're having our next event is December 30th, which is the end of year, and then we're having the beginning of the year one. And then if you're in the Pinellas County, there's a Pinellas County group. And overall, we have a umbrella group, basically, which is Tampa Bay Geocachers. So people post about going out and finding things, and events are going to be happening and things like that. But like I said, just starting out, what I recommend is just going to a local event. Either mine, you're more than welcome to come to mine, or go to the Pinellas event and meet people and find a couple of people to go out with, and then that way you can kind of get your feet wet, see how it is. But for just you getting started, all you would need to do is once you download the app on your phone, just look at the cache coordinates. I don't know if I sent Becky a picture of the event coming up, but it's just easy. Just read the difficulty and the terrain, which is the easy or hard, same thing, 1 to 4, and the date, and go out and read any kind of a hint. There's a lot of times there's a hint. If it says BYOP, that means bring one of these. But and go out and find one. And containers can be pretty much anything, all the way for something as small as the end of my finger, all the way up to a Tupperware container, to a ammo can in the woods. So as long as it can be waterproof and keep animals out and water out, it can be used. And also you can just you'll kind of get an idea what you're looking for when you start going out. But you can find them out in a stop sign, or a going out if you're out driving on the interstate. Stop at any rest area. Most rest areas have at least 1 or 2 geocaches there. That's a great way to stretch your legs. And there's also take a break and take your kids with you, and get souvenirs. We have souvenirs which you go to when you find your first cache in Florida. You'll get a Florida souvenir. Up in Georgia, gets a Georgia souvenir, and things like that. It's a great way to get out of the house, especially now we don't have to worry about snow and bad weather. Something to do with the kids. And if you have kids and your kids are in Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, they have badges that you can do, and they can get a badge for geocaching, for putting out a cache and finding caches. And what else is there? So with geocaching.com, all you have to do is go on your computer and create an account and go out and find them. Becky, is there any questions? I don't want to start talking too long.
Yeah, sure. We have a few questions, but if people have additional questions, please feel free to submit them. And also, like Layne was saying, she sent me some information ahead of time, some pictures and information about the geocaching groups. You can find that in the handout tab in GoToWebinar. If you look towards the bottom, you just click on the handout. It'll be a document. That way you have it right there. You don't have to write anything down. It's handy and easy to go and access. But one of the first questions was, where can you find a handheld GPS these days?
Okay, used to be able to get it at Walmart, but now you can get it on eBay or Amazon.com. Just make sure it's for paperless geocaching, like what I have. An E-Trex is probably the basic, easiest one to use, They were about 150, and of course this is about 150. This one right here. This is an
Really?
E-Trex. This is an E-Trex. You can tell it's been used. It's an E-Trex, and this one a little bit more expensive because it has more stuff you can do with it. They can go on up from there. But with those, what you have to do, you connect it to your computer, download, and they come preloaded with like 5,000 of all the caches around the world, which you're
Oh,
not going to go out and
wow.
find. Yeah,
So
but
that's
you
why
can,
they're special. That's why they cost so much.
yeah. But if you just want to get the ones around you or go to a particular area, you just connect it to the computer, download the ones you want to go find, and then go out and find it. The bad thing about using your phone is if
Hmm.
you someplace you lose cell phone service. Like I said, Ocala National Forest, you'll lose service. But with a handheld
Hmm.
GPS, that's not going to happen. Then you go out and find the ones that you want to find, go back home, plug it back in, download everything, or just write everything down, all the ones that you find, and then when you get back to cell phone service, find them, log them as finds. That's what I used to do. But
Okay.
yeah, but they are about 150. I'll look today, 150 on up.
Okay,
That's
that's good to know.
Yeah, but geocaching.com, just to let you know, the basic membership is free, but to
Hmm.
get premium membership is $25 a year.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad. What do you get with the premium?
If, like I said, if you're driving, let's say you're driving up from here to Atlanta and you want to find caches along the route, you can download
Oh.
all those. So you get more, and plus, some people when they put out caches, they make it only available for premium members for whatever
Oh.
reason. And as a basic member, you may not be able to get everything, find everything.
Hmm.
It won't show
A
up.
few more perks is a premium. Okay.
Yeah, more perks. Yep, yeah, yeah.
Right.
So what
Sure.
else? So what else? Questions?
So one person was just wondering what kind of things that people do at the geocaching events that you mentioned earlier.
Well, we sit around and talk. Uh, like the one at the end, if there's a theme, we go to that. Like the one
Okay.
at the end of the year is end of the year event. Then I'm hosting an event on the first. You just sit
Hmm.
around, talk, meet other people. If you can find somebody who take you out, tell them you're a newbie, wants to go out with somebody, they might take you out, just kind of show you around.
Through the
You can see
ropes.
the ropes and yeah, that
Mhm.
kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
But
So yeah,
but yeah.
I was just gonna say, usually do people go geocaching alone? Is it a group activity or kind of a little bit of both?
A little bit of both.
Of
At,
both.
um, some people go out by themselves, other people go in as a group. Family, it's a great family, like I said, a great family activity with the kids.
Hmm.
And a lot of times the bigger caches will have toys that they
Oh,
can take.
really?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
sounds fun.
yeah, yeah. So
It's a
this
good
is
time.
great. It's a great thing. Great. So use of there's a McDonald's Happy Meal toys you don't want to get rid of.
Yeah, that's perfect. Somebody's asked what kind of thing, I mean, you kind of mentioned a little bit, but what else can you find in a geocache container?
Well, beside the log and the pen, sometimes you find what we call trackables, which is like coins,
Hmm.
little trinkets. Um, and with those, you have to log that you take them and log that you drop them off. That's why it's
Oh,
good. Yeah, it's a little more involved,
hmm.
but that's why I say if you go to an event, there's usually trackables that people take to the events so somebody else to move. So like a
Oh,
track,
okay. So you
so a
share.
track. So you might, if you're lucky enough to find a trackable, it will have like a tag on it, a number tag. Oh, I didn't bring one. I didn't have it here, but it,
Sure.
but it'll have a mission. So it'll say something like, go from here, visit the beach. So you go into the weekend to the beach, take it with you to the beach, take a picture
Uh-huh.
of it at the beach, and then drop it off at another cache near the beach.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I had no idea that that was a thing that he had like little missions and quests that you can do as part of it.
I mean, you don't have to take it. You can just leave it there, but
Yeah,
that's a good
sure.
fun thing to do. And
Yeah,
well,
go on a little adventure.
yeah, some of them I just go from cache to cache. If you want to do that and you can find a container big enough to drop it in, you can do that.
Mhm.
That's not a
Okay.
thing. No, I was gonna say most of the bigger containers have at least a pen and a log,
Mhm.
which is like basically paper for you to sign. And when you go on geocaching.com, like me, when I find a cache, I sign a GeoGold 007 and the date.
Mhm.
So that's how that works. But you have to be your own unique name, however you
Mhm.
want to do it, your name or the family name or whatever you want to do, and nobody else can use that name.
Yeah. So you come up with like a team name for your family or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. The only thing about that, if you got kids,
Mhm.
young, they turn 18. If they want to continue on, they got to start all over again with
Oh.
fines, or else you can start in the beginning and just give everybody individual their own name, and that way they can just continue it.
Okay, that's
However,
why you can keep tracking it the whole time. Mhm.
yeah. And when you go on the app, it tells you how many fines you have, uh, states you visited. You can see what states you visited, countries. If you go on a cruise,
Wow.
a lot of countries like Bahamas, Bermuda have souvenirs. We call them souvenirs
Mhm.
badges that show up. People,
Okay.
if you go to the event, they'll show you
Mhm.
all the stuff. There's a lot, and I don't want to. It'll take a lot longer than 20 minutes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is just to get everyone started. Somebody wants to know what's the most interesting geocache object you've ever found?
Well, found
Probably hard.
a lot, but the most unique location I've been at, which I remember, it was in New Orleans. There's a lot of virtuals, which is just physical caches, but
Mhm.
going up the top of a building, and it was a big cache, and it had a whole bunch. And I got to walk around the top of the building, office building, and see the whole city of New Orleans.
Oh, that's cool. That's a fun experience. Yeah, I didn't even think I thought about it was just about finding stuff, but it's about having these great experiences too.
That's what it is. Going to different places. Yeah, that's what a lot of it is. Yep. Yep.
Somebody else has asked, what are some fun places to get started?
Oh, cache? You mean locations?
I guess so, yeah.
Well, around here there's a lot. There's some that create an account and see
That's
what's
a good
new.
thing. Yeah.
Um, Storky Park, up in down in Pasco County is a good place to find caches if you want to go in the woods.
Mm.
But but Wiki Watcher Preserve is another place.
Oh, I haven't been there.
Let's see. There was a lot of caches like in parking lots. You pull into a Walmart and there's a cache in a
I wouldn't have thought that. Okay.
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah. There's a lot of them. Just
Just
that's the best
hiding.
thing. Hiding. Like I said, it's probably one or two within 2 mile, 3 miles of your location, home location.
Mhm. Yeah, I actually just found out that one of our library branches has a cache.
Yeah, inside.
The North Tampa Library has one, so if people are looking to place to get started, you can get started at the library.
There you go. Yep. There's a lot of
Yeah,
that.
and
Yes.
a lot of libraries have them right here.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's easy to do and brings people into the library because it has to be inside the library unless it's out in front. But they know about it
Yeah, I'm not
anyway.
sure where it is, but yeah, hopefully it's someplace easily accessible. But at least we're public, we're free, people can go in.
Yeah. Yep. So what else is there? What else kind of questions are there?
Somebody just wanted to know how you got started. How'd you get into geocaching in the first place?
Well, I read an article in the paper about geocaching, and there was there was caches across the street from the stadium. That
Okay.
little park, whatever the name of that park is, across from the stadium, and there was a
Hmm.
Buccaneer theme. Uh, it was a Buccaneer theme cache. So that
Makes
sounds
sense,
interesting.
sure.
So yeah, so I read about it, and of course at the time I couldn't do anything because back then they didn't really have smartphones; they had dumb phones. That's what I had with a dumb
Oh.
phone.
Hmm.
So a year or two later, I got a smartphone and I saw the same article and I downloaded the app and I started going out and finding caches. That's how I got started.
Okay, awesome. Somebody's asked, have you ever been unable to find a cache?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot. There's a lot of that. Yes. A lot.
Oh,
Sometimes I go out 2 or 3 times and I find it on the fourth time. It's just, it's
okay.
just,
You keep
yeah.
trying though?
I keep trying, and then sometimes they're missing, which happens.
Oh,
But sometimes then they get replaced, and you can go out and find it again. So yeah, there's a lot of times that I don't go. I go out and I can't find DNFs. We call them DNFs.
okay.
That's what we
Can
call it.
you do you report those or like if they're missing, does anybody do anything, track it, or just the people in chart people who placed it there kind of check
Well,
up on it now and then?
you log it as a DNFs. We have
Mm-hmm.
reviewers, people who publish these caches, and
Okay.
supposedly if a certain cache gets a certain number of DNFs, they kind of let
Mm-hmm.
the cache owner know they need to go out and check on
Mm.
it, or else they're going to archive it. So yeah,
Okay.
but we do have some good cache owners who do maintain it and they keep up with it and stuff like that. So what
I'll
else?
see. It's a few questions left. So people do have more questions, please feel free to submit. We have time for a few more. One question is, do people try to make caches hard, like do people purposely try to make them hard to find? Do they make them brightly colored so they're easy, or do they hide it really good?
They hide it.
Basically,
They hide it real good. They do hide
okay.
it real good because you don't want somebody walking by and finding it.
And just
So
taking it probably because they wouldn't know what it was.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I always thinking it's a bomb. There have been a bunch of
Oh
instances
no.
when people put a cache out and the bomb squad gets called.
Has that really happened?
Yeah. Oh
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, but they do hide it.
Hmm.
Sometimes real good. I mean, I did one cache one time, and I went how many times going out and back to try to get it. It took like 6 months to find
Wow.
it, and the cache owners kept giving hints. It's there. It's there. Nobody could find it, and finally they said where it was at. It's at the base of a tree, and
Okay.
small little tube at the base of a tree.
They did a
So
really good job.
they did a good job. Yeah, yeah. A lot of times the caches are blended in. It may
Hmm.
not be obvious. It could be in plain sight. It can be out there in the open, but
Hmm.
some of them are hard. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned that sometimes it could be like up in a tree, even people.
I did yeah, I did one in Lake Wales, and it was literally hanging in a tree. I had to
Mm.
unwind the rope and lower it down.
Oh wow. Okay, so at least they didn't have to climb the tree. You just
No, some of them are. I mean, there
really.
was one I found at USF. It was in a parking garage. It was up in
Hmm.
the top of the parking garage, and I got it down. I don't know how I got it down, but to get it back up, I have to go back, throw it back up there.
Just chuck it up.
Yeah,
All right.
like I said, sometimes they're easy,
Hmm.
they're hard. That's why you have to read. When you go to the cache page, you have to look at the hint. So there'll be a
Hmm.
hint, and it'll tell you, um, BY uh, uh, Florida hide, which is what kind of plants in Florida? Palmetto bushes. So it's under some
Okay.
palmetto bushes. You go
Mhm.
up to Georgia, Georgia hide, pine needles.
Okay.
So, so yeah, you
Sure.
kind of have to read the hint and kind of go back and read some of the logs and see what people kind of say. Nobody's going to should show exact location of where it is, but kind of like a general area. But you can kind of
Hmm.
get an idea what you're looking for and kind of where it is, reading the logs.
So all the geocaches, they all have hints for every single one?
No, not all of them.
No.
Some of them do. No, no, no.
Is it just the harder ones
The
usually?
harder ones, you will.
Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Well, that's nice. Give you a little help there.
Yep.
All right, so that's actually the last four questions. So let's go to our continue the experience. And I want to thank
Okay.
Elaine for answering all those questions and telling us all about geocaching, giving us that great introduction to get us started. I want to invite everybody now to continue the experience with these ebooks from the library. I have two books here. I have the Geocaching Handbook, the guide for family-friendly high-tech treasure hunting by Layne Cameron, And it goes into detail about geocaching, including national and state parks that especially promote geocaching. This book is available through our Libby app. And there's another book, Cool Maps and Geocaching by Katherine Hengel. This is a book for elementary age kids, and it's filled with activities related to geocaching. This book is available through Hoopla. There's never any wait when you go and use Hoopla. You can always get that item instantly. You just need your library card, and you need that for both of these apps. And you can go and find Hoopla and Libby on the library website at hcplc.org/ebooks. And as we come to a close, I want to make sure you guys saw that handout tab there. Make sure you get the information about the local Facebook groups and the information Elaine mentioned earlier about getting together if you're interested in meeting other people who enjoy geocaching and maybe getting a little more advice and help and maybe find a buddy.
Yeah, like I said, we're having our next event December 30th at I think it was 9 o'clock, 8, 9 o'clock. 8, 9 o'clock, 9, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I think it's 10 o'clock. He put
Okay.
them different times. At Anderson Snow Park, which is up in Hernando County. That's our next event. Pinellas County has their event, I think the 17th, at Fat Willie's. Oh God, Fat Cats
Okay.
in Largo. Yeah, Fat Cats in Largo. That's their next event. But come
Mhm.
out to an event. Come out to ours. Welcome to ours. But before you do, download the app and get it on your phone, and then just maybe go out and find some caches.
Yeah, get ready, be prepared, meet some new friends, find some cool stuff, and have some adventures. If anybody has questions for the library, you can reach us at our website, hcplc.org/connect, or you can give us a phone call at 813-273-3652. You can also find out about upcoming library programs. We only have a few more left before this year is over, but you can go to hcplc.org/events and see what's coming up. And we have a bunch of fun things planned for the new year as well. So thank you everybody for enjoying and joining us today. Thank you for coming up with those great questions, and thank you, Elaine, for answering them and leading our program tonight. So hope everybody has a great night.
Yep, and a Happy New Year.
And a Happy New Year. All right, thank you. Bye, Elaine.
Bye. Bye-bye.